Hey, it's Connie from Prosperity Finance. Now, we have a lot of videos about finances, and we also, from time to time, we invite different advisors in the field of legal, property management, accounting, etc. But there's one big topic we never touched on before. Now, today I have a very special guest. Now, what we're going to discuss is about borrowing from a non-bank lender. Now, you're probably very familiar with borrowing from banks. Normally, you go to your banks for purchase your family home or your rental property or even business, etc. But very few people are familiar with borrowing from a non-bank sector. But from our experience, non-bank sector actually deliver huge value in some circumstances. If you can't get a solution from the bank, sometimes it doesn't mean there's no solution. You just need to know where else can help you. So we thought we need to kind of start this topic so that get people to kind of familiar with what the non-bank lenders service are and what kind of circumstances that maybe you can get help with. So without further ado, I will invite Kevin from ASAP Finance. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, my name is Kevin. I'm a senior lending manager from ASAP Finance. I'm with ASAP for 8 years now.
That's a long time, Kevin. Yeah, so Prosperity Finance is almost 8 years old, and I still remember, the first time I contact you and trying to find out what you guys do, because I used to work for the bank. I don't really know what you do, and you give me a rundown, so it helped me to kind of understand where the value sits. And since then, we have helped lots of clients to get a solution where they normally can't get a solution. So for most of people, Kevin, probably they don't know what you guys are doing. You probably do a lot of application day in, day out, but for most of people, it's kind of a foreign field. So can you give us an idea, what does ASAP Finance do? What kind of service you deliver?
Yeah, we do a lot of development funding, and we do land banking, investor loans, equity release, bridging finance, and all sorts of loans, as long as it's first mortgage based. Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing lendings, but if I can, go to the bank, why I come to you? Do you charge a lot of fees and interest? So why not go to my bank and come to you for help? Can you give me some example where, how you help people when they can't get a solution from the banks?
Well, generally speaking, if you go to the bank will ask you for obviously your property address. They do due diligence on the property as well as on your background as well. They do service testing. They ask 1,000 questions. But for us, we tend to focusing on the property itself more, or put that way, we're focusing on project rather than client background. Because we do a lot of development funding, we are doing developing ourselves as well. So we kind of understand the development inside, outside, and we're trying to adding more value to the client in that way.
Okay, so you have a lot of clients come to you for property developments. Is there any other type of lending you do?
Oh yes, we do a lot of equity release as well. Just for example, we just had a client recently had eyes on a piece of land which probably can yield about 7-8 townhouses, but the bank just couldn't cope because auction is around the corner, and bank normally takes about 2-3 weeks to turn around. So we look at the plan and looked at the site, said yes, we can do that, and we give 70% funding. Eventually, clients got that piece of land for the project, and now I think he's looking forward to do the development loan with us, because I think that's about 23% margin of that property development deal.
Wow! If you don't help that client, potentially they will lose their opportunity, and that's lose a lot of money.
Yeah, it's really just making choices, because what's happening is when clients have option to purchase a project, if bank says no, means that and the door has already shut, and you have no way to make that margin because you don't even own the property. So we come in to provide you a solution. Obviously, we charge a bit more than the bank, but ultimately, you're still making a margin out of the project. Basically, you take it's nothing, or you make something.
Yeah, if I can make 20% margin, I don't mind paying you guys. So yeah, it's I'm still better off, right? So yeah, from dealing with you guys in the past, I think there's so many examples. You just been so modest today, but I can remember this few examples. For example, recently one of our mutual clients just need to borrow 200K. And they have a mortgage-free property, but because they don't have income, banks say no to them. But for them, it's a big thing. They need that money urgently, and you deliver a solution immediately, help them tremendously. So yeah, so not just the big builders and developers, it's actually mom and dad customers that if you're asset rich, you have equity, and you need a solution where banks say no, I think you guys can definitely help, and really quick. Yeah, so great. Now, let's touch on the cost side, because I've asked a lot of times by clients when I tell them, hey, potentially we have to go to a non-bank lender, and then the very next question is, how much is it going to cost me? So tell me how you guys make money.
Well, okay, from a non-bank lender, we normally have two components. One is the interest, which is what you see on the paper. Normally it's from 5.95 to 12.95. This rate is term sensitive because we do have 3 months term, 9 months term, 12 months terms. So the longer the term, the higher the interest, normally speaking. The other component is the application fee. From our point of view, we charge a fixed fee, which is upfront. But for some other institution, they may charge application fee, loan fee, or administration fee, all sorts of fee. But basically, the fee plus your interest is your total financing cost.
Wow, that sounds quite expensive. So why you charge much higher rates than the bank? That's not fair.
No, it's not, because we take a lot more risk compared to the bank. Our fee are normally risk-driven or a lot more aligned with the market. And I know Reserve Bank, they've cut their OCR. I do get that question quite often, but we are not funded by the bank. I mean, we do have a bit of funding from the bank, but most of funding line are equity funded. So that sort of isolates us between the Reserve Bank and our required rate of return. Yes.
Okay, Kevin, but be fair, I think we can't just compare the rates, right? So most of the time it's about solution. So normally when the banks say no, then they turn to you guys for equity release. So you can't really compare the rates, right? Otherwise, you can't get anything right. And I guess second thing is, to be fair, I think we have to look at the overall cost, because, for example, for the property development application, normally they can save money in a lot of ways. Yes, the finance cost will be higher, but bank will ask millions conditions such as, pre-sale, QS, all these add up. That probably, costs more than the savings of the finance costs, not to mention other things like probably miss the subdivision season, all that. So if you look at the overall picture, yeah, I think you're not necessarily paying more. So yeah, I'm just teasing.
But you point out very well, because I think property is very cyclically, because it's more seasonally driven. Normally you get a better price in summertime when people enjoy the sunshine, having a better mood. But during the winter time, property price normally have a bit of corrections, or you put the other way, you probably want to achieve the ideal price you want. So if you're doing a development, timing is very, very important. You always want your product to finish at the right time, so you get the best result from the market. from our point, because compared to the bank, if you're doing a drawdown loan with a bank or some other institution, you may require QS report valuation from the claim you submit to the bank till the date that you've had the money in your account. Well, that's kind of depends from between 1 week to a month's time. So you will miss a lot of payment claims down the road. But from our point of view, basically you call me today, Kevin, I need 100K. Next 20, 30 minutes, you have money in your account. So you have enough cash flow to keep your project going. So in fact, we helped a lot of clients to refinance from the bank or other finance institutions to finish their project. We've seen clients sitting with other lenders. They way over 12 months have done nothing because they have issued to get money out of the lender on the progress payment basis. So we normally, once we refinance a client, took about, say, 8 to 9 months, we can take the project to finish. Because we do understand there will be a lot of unforeseen issue happen along the road because we do development ourselves as well. So we sort of see project from developers' angle. We understand more about the project. That's how we help adding value to our clients, basically.
Yeah. So from the past dealing, I think you guys really stand out from the crowd in terms of your turnaround time. Like you mentioned, probably, in a day, but this is a dream case, right? But you guys normally give an offer, very quickly. So that's really important, especially when clients need urgent help. And secondly, what I kind of feel is you really understand the whole projects, not just tick a box like a bank. They have a black and white policy. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Whereas with your guys, you really understand the property itself. And sometimes you don't even need a valuation because you know what the market look like. You probably like a valuer, yourself. So, so basically you can make a adjustment along the way, especially like a development projects. It's not always happen as a planned. So that's the other kind of I feel really, really good that you guys deliver the solution really quickly, really transparent. If you say I only need those conditions for the settlements, you only need those conditions. So really transparent. And the other thing is about understanding the project and help clients until they solve the problem. So yeah.
Frankly speaking, we are actually not the cheapest in the market, even compared to other loan bank lenders, but we are very transparent, as you pointed out, and we branding ourselves to providing certainties. We don't give you surprises. It is what it is. And once the condition has been met, the money will be in your account.
Yeah, I think the pricing kind of reflect, it's a reflective of the value. If you want the cheap rates, but you don't get a solution, you get a stress, you get a decline. I think that's what not people want, right? So it's really about what you want. If you just want the cheap rates, there's a cheap rate option like a bank, or other lenders, but you may not get the best value. You probably miss opportunity or whatever. You probably have to make a compromise of giving extra security, whatever. I don't know. It depends. Yeah. So I definitely recommend Kevin and ASAP Finance. I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart because people know I look after my clients. I care my clients. So I do know you guys are really good in terms of what you do, and you help clients and care clients. So definitely that's why I invite you to talk about this topic. So yeah, definitely thank you, Kevin, for all your help in the past. So yeah, so maybe in the future. Thank you so much for your time, Kevin, and thank you for your time if you're watching this video. So in summary, if you get a no from your bank, but you have good equity in your property, it might be a solution with the non-bank lenders. You never know. So maybe best to pick up the phone and get in touch with us, and we might be able to help you in conjunction with like Kevin and his company, potentially we can help you to achieve your goals. Or maybe you get an offer from the bank, for example, for the property development deal, but it's got a lot of conditions that you don't like. Maybe we can get a better deal for you. So you never know. So all you need is just to contact us and we can have a chat and see if we can help you and how we can help you. Great. Thank you for watching. And if you like our video, please feel free to subscribe our YouTube channel, because every week we have really valuable content ready to share with you. And thank you again, Kevin. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.